It's a cold, cruel World Cup. Central American teams forced the U.S. to suffer in their bull rings last summer. After an opening tie, then a loss on the road, the U.S. was in last place, but the Americans came back to win their qualifying group.
With room, Ernie Stewart strikes, score! Ernie Stewart hit the snot out of that ball.
Having bonded into a strong unit, the U.S. now gets set to play 5 other nations home and away. It's a 10-game series for Bruce Arena's team. Tonight starts the last leg of the journey to the World Cup. We come to you live from the most partisan arena the U.S. has. A chilling reception greets regional dynasty Mexico at sold-out Cruz Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. 24 degrees and the temperature is plummeting. Welcome to the Cold War soccer style. Alongside Ty Keogh, I'm Jack Edwards. There are 35 nations that play soccer in this region of the world. Only 6 make it this far. Only 3 will go on to the 2002 World Cup. And this final series of qualifying games starts for the U.S. with a tremendous rivalry.
No, and a game that really matters, and it's a Clásico, a bitter rivalry, one of the bigger regional rivalries in world soccer. And who better to lead the United States against Mexico than Claudio Reyna. He's known now as Captain America, born in Livingston, New Jersey. Skill, talent, vision, the ability to strike a ball here with the outside of his right foot, nearly scoring against Costa Rica in an earlier round of qualifying. Team leadership, a guy who pushes his teammates to the limit, including Brian McBride. Brian McBride, the main scoring threat for the United States. He'll occupy several Mexican defenders tonight. He has scored in 4 consecutive games for the United States and 6 times in World Cup qualifying.
The biggest threat on the other side, Mexico's all-time leading scorer, Luis Hernandez. Of course, a familiar face to American soccer fans. He plays his club ball for Major League Soccer's LA Galaxy.
Luis Hernandez, an electrifying presence on the field for Mexico, a World Cup hero in '98 for Mexico, scoring here in stoppage time against Holland to send them into the next round. He'll have to be watched very closely on the counterattack.
It is a bitterly cold night in Columbus, but the emotional temperature is red hot.
World Cup qualifying.
Take on the world.
U.S. soccer.
Mexico.
Honduras.
Costa Rica.
Jamaica.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Take on the world.
Take notice.
It's a big year.
Today's World Cup qualifying match is the beginning of the first of 10 tough games. It's just moments away in Columbus, Ohio. Let's set the starting lineups for you. In goal for Mexico, the flamboyant and athletically brilliant 5'8" Jorge Campos. He is making his 140th appearance for Mexico.
And Mexico as the visiting squad, playing in a 5-3-2. Claudio Suarez, El Emperador, the Emperor, his 152nd appearance for Mexico. Quite a bit of experience with some new players in the Mexican lineup here. We'll tell you more about that in a moment.
U.S. goalkeeper Brad Friedel from Bay Village, Ohio, just about a 2-hour drive from here. And you'll note that he is wearing the shorts. He's quite comfortable playing in the cold, playing his club ball in England.
The United States starting off in a 4-4-2 with Jeff Agus and Eddie Pope in the central defense. Joe Max Moore will also be running up front with Brian McBride.
Mexico in green, the United States in the all-whites. And the game is on. The final round of qualifying begins for the United States, Mexico, and 4 other nations from this region. Rodolfo Cibrian is the referee. It is an El Salvadoran officiating crew. Chris Armas on the immediate challenge of Chimo Ruiz. Armas whistled for the foul. There will be a lot of fouling tonight. Both of these teams will ask and give no quarter. Villa plays it back hard. Herto Macias. Claudio Suarez, a fixture. This is Rafael Marquez. Carmona will push the right sideline, but it goes out there. This portion of the match is brought to you by Texaco.
Ernie Stewart playing on the left side of midfield for the United States. Kobe Jones on the right side. Ben Olsen was considered for one of those spots, but has an ankle problem.
Kobe Jones leaves it off for Claudio Reyna. The U.S. trying to be aggressive in the early minutes. Sané on the overlap right side. The long cross looking for McBride. Campos is there. Trying the quick counter. Palencia backing in. David Regi heads it forward for Stewart. This is Carmona. Marquez. Hard challenge on the tackle by Joe Max Moore. Pardo working with Carmona. Regi knocks it into the stands.
We saw that Mexico starting with 5 backs, but those wide backs will certainly creep into the attack. We saw Carmona there on the right side already moving into the midfield.
Hernandez tries the heel pass. Jones. Marquez heads it forward. Hernandez offside. The flag was up. When is Mexico going to try to strike, Ty?
Mexico will be very patient in their approach here. They know the United States looking for 3 points at home will send players forward in the attack. So Mexico starting off with 5 backs, 3 midfielders, only 2 men up front will drop back into their own end, and they would like to strike on a quick counter.
Brad Friedel, a long ride for Brian McBride. Macias is over the top. The U.S. has a free kick from about 33 yards.
Well, we already saw a moment ago on the cross from the right side by Tony Sena that Brian McBride is the target. He's the player that will lurk at the back post for the United States. But how quick was Campos off of his line to snag that last cross?
This is one situation in which you do not want to be in a wall. Not that it's ever desirable, but with the temperature in the 20s, that ball is a rock right now. Reyna, Joe Max Moore, Jeff Agus over the ball for the U.S. Moore chipping, far post, looking for Eddie Pope. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick to Mexico. Let's send it downstairs to Rob Stone, our on-field reporter. Rob.
Guys, the last hour and a half, the hand on this thermostat has been moving about as fast as the second hand on my watch. It's dropped about 10 degrees in the last hour and a half. How's the Mexican team dealt with it? Number one, they didn't come out for warm-ups. Number two, they've been receiving vitamin supplements by their managers. And third, just before kickoff, they had a mental visualization session in their locker room to try and focus out the cold. And I'll tell you what, guys, you don't need to be Cleo, the late-night psychic, to realize the cold has already gotten to their heads.
If there's a vitamin that works for cold, it's got to be made of uranium. Foul against the U.S. Mexico gets the restart.
Well, Acapulco is Jorge Campos' hometown, and maybe they were trying to envision themselves on the sandy beaches there.
Not gonna work. Luna, Hernandez, Chima Ruiz. Palencia showing that Pope is on him. Kobe Jones short for Pope, now forward for Joe Max Moore. It comes out over the sideline. Ty, what are the keys to the game?
Well, for the United States, it's imperative that they establish some possession. That will nullify that counterattack of Mexico that is so dangerous. And if the U.S. could pressure in Mexico's end of the field, they also need to take advantage of set plays, the height of Brian McBride, the ability of Tony Sané to come forward. Also, you see how tall number 22 is for the United States. That could be an impact as well, but also defensively not to be victimized. Mexico excels on the free kick situations and corner kick situations.
Hernandez trying the flick-on header. Sané colliding with Armas. Palencia down with it. Leaves it off for Luna, who will try to push the left side. It comes out off of Sané, and here is Mexico with a corner kick opportunity against Bruce Arena's team. Bruce Arena back on the U.S. bench, having served his 2-game suspension, which was truncated. It originally was a 3-game suspension following his protests after the Costa Rica loss last summer.
He would have missed this game had they stuck to the 3-game suspension.
This portion of the match brought to you by Budweiser. Abel Pardo on the corner kick for Mexico. The U.S. has specific man-marking assignments on corners. Pardo to the short post, and Agus heads it about 12 rows high. Palencia's flick-on header. Palencia across the 6-yard box. Regi chases it down. He lets it roll out. Agus. He'll feed many good balls out of the back. This for Kobe Jones. Well played push by Suarez. He knows every trick in the book, playing in his 152nd game, or picking up his 152nd cap for Mexico. Kobe Jones brings it back. This is Reggie. Armas. Aegis. Pope. Here's the possession for the U.S. Sane challenging Luna. Sane running over Villa. Sane called for the foul. Hernandez offside on the free kick. Luis Hernandez always will push the limit. He is one of the most called players for offside in whatever league he's in or in international play.
It's his job to be a predator. And the fact is, if he gets caught 15 times, doesn't matter. If he gets through once or twice, he'll make it count.
Friedel, a fine distributor out of the back. Drives another 70-yarder. McBride going up. Macias playing it well for Mexico. Sane, first touch pass. It goes over the sideline. The Mexico coach, Enrique Meza, at least for the moment. Great instability in the head coaching position for Mexico. A tremendous amount of pressure on whoever holds that job. Luna gives it away to Aegis. It pops up on him. Luna heads it for Palencia. Stewart flicks toward McBride. The U.S. not able to settle things down yet. Ty, the field is no excuse. It's in tremendous shape considering it's February 28th. Kobe Jones run over. Marquez marking him. This will be a throw-in for the U.S. and Jones pleads his case to no avail.
Well, Kobe Jones here racing down that left sideline and whacked at from behind.
Reggie into the middle, but Campos is there. Campos shoving off against Ernie Stewart and going down. Joe Max Moore having a word with Cibrian. And there you see Campos. Marquez looking for Palencia. Here's Hernandez at the heel flick. Palencia ruled offside. Mexico will counter. They'll play long. They'll push the limit on offside. And if they get away with it once, they're all heroes.
Paco Palencia wasn't sure whether he would start or not. I read Borghetti was maybe going to start. All over the top. He looked pretty even, and that ball's off a defender.
I think Hernandez might have played that ball through. Joe Max Moore trying to penetrate the 18. Great tackle by Macias. And Villa clears it out. This Mexican back four or back five, depending on their formation, is rock solid. Aegis. Reggie. Looking for McBride against Macias. Stewart. Against Luna. Looking for Joe Max Moore. Suarez heading it out.
The Emperor. Claudio Suarez. Kobe Jones over on the left side. Ernie Stewart here on the right. Switch since the start of the match already.
Ball out of bounds off the U.S. Chima Ruiz. Aegis bumping Palencia from behind. Aegis whistled for the foul. Of course, this isn't the only game going on today in this final group of qualifying in CONCACAF, which covers North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. Jamaica over Trinidad and Tobago. That is a final 1-0 today. And Honduras and Costa Rica are playing right now, and that is 0-0. The U.S. will play all 5 of these nations, once on American soil, once away, a total of 10 games. Of the 6 teams in the group, 3 will advance to Japan, Korea 2002. This portion of the match is brought to you by Chevrolet. Down goes Hernandez after contact from Aegis, no call. Joe Max Moore draws the ball back. Square to Stewart. Sane. Pope. Reggie. Armas. Reggie outside of the foot. Suarez controlling the back line. Villa now. Carmona trying to turn on Jones. Armas can't save it inbounds. Let's send it down to Rob Stone.
Guys, Brian McBride just came running over to the sideline. He's doing it right now. He took some nasty shot to his right eye. It literally looks like it's a boxing fight. His right eye is swollen shut. He just said right now he cannot see out of his right eye. His eye looks like a golf ball right now. Josh Wolf is warming up. They're icing it down right now. I'm not sure how much longer Brian McBride can go, though.
Bob, thank you. That looks like the scene out of Rocky. That is absolutely unbelievable. McBride has spent his career in difficult challenges. He's had both cheekbones broken. Obviously, he doesn't shy away from stuff like that. Amazing that that should happen only in the 10th or 11th minute as we now play in the 12th, because Brian McBride has had the worst luck in the world at being able to play national team games here in his home stadium. Hernandez. This is Carmona on a long overlap. Working against Agus. Agus giving him no room. It's a goal kick. That's fine defensive play by Jeff Agus as the U.S. plays 10 on 11 with McBride still swollen up.
McBride has been absolutely jinxed in terms of injuries. Look at the look on Brian McBride's face. He cannot believe it.
Oh my goodness.
There's no way he'll be able to see out that eye, much less take the risk of further injury.
Macias. That is a huge break for Mexico. McBride is the X factor in CONCACAF play for the United States. He is an uncoverable forward when the U.S. plays a good ball in the air to him. But Macias and Suarez, tough, tall, physical players. And McBride has taken off his gloves, and he is having a seat, and it looks as if he's going to come out of this game.
Tremendously bad break, personally for Brian McBride, but also for the chance of the U.S. team. Now, Mexico already playing without Cuauhtemoc Blanco because of injury, without Ramon Ramirez because he was involved in a car accident a few weeks ago, and Manuel Abundis, another great attacking player for Mexico, not available because of injury.
Regis spraying one over the sideline, looking forward for Stewart. The U.S. not looking sharp with possession, which was one of your keys to the game, Ty.
Well, Mexico will make it difficult because right now they are laying back in numbers, trying to close down those passing lanes.
Macias going crossfield. Regis in front of Hernandez, but doesn't play it cleanly and gives it away. Hernandez into the middle for Palencia. Pope right on his back. Has to play it back. Hernandez taking on Regis. Regis gets a piece of the ball, but too much of Hernandez, and Hernandez goes down. It's a trip against the U.S.
El Matador, Luis Hernandez, taking a whack there, but that won't slow him up. Incredibly durable forward. The guy puts himself in harm's way constantly and bounces right back up to score important goals for Mexico. Luis Hernandez.
Josh Wolf is going to be coming into the game for McBride. McBride obviously has exited already. Josh Wolf, a tremendously fast and exciting forward.
Have another look at Brian McBride's injury. This horrendous bad break, bad luck for Brian McBride. Contact with the back of Macias's head, and there was no intent there. It was not a dirty play whatsoever, just wrong place at the wrong time again for Brian McBride.
Opportunity for Mexico. Agus heads it on. Flip back into the 6-yard box. Reina gets a piece of it, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be a corner for Mexico. This is just the situation that the United States must protect against.
Crucial defensive play by Claudio Reina after Claudio Suarez does a wonderful job here to put the ball all the way over to that other post again, and if Reina's not there, it's a goal for Mexico.
In swinger, Agus volleys it clear. On these corner kicks, one of the key marking assignments belongs to Brian McBride because of his excellence in the air. They are giving up an awful lot by having to put Wolf in the game. And you have to wonder if the United States immediately has to adjust its marking assignments, because there's no way that Wolf is going to be able to take on Suarez.
The United States definitely becomes more susceptible on corner kicks and free kick situations without McBride back there to mark up tightly with Macias.
Rob Stone has more. Rob?
Well, Jack, just to layer on that comment you just made, that was the main point Bruce Arena made to Josh Wolf. He said, you've got to tell Jeff Agus to find a man to mark Suarez, because as you said, that was McBride's mark on corner kicks and set pieces.
It's a chess game. Reggie quickly forward for Wolf. He's got rocketing speed. Trying to work on Marquez. Marquez blocks it out, but it's a corner. And right away, Wolf's speed pays dividends.
Josh Wolf was a star, a revelation for the United States at the Olympic Games in Australia this past September. Caught a lot of people's eyes with his getaway speed and his ability to score important goals.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Nike. We're in the final 6 teams of this region. The top 3 will go to World Cup 2002. Joe Max Moore's corner. Luna heads it out. Agus back to Moore. Into the box, looking for Reggie. Chima Ruiz heads it out. Jones chest traps it down. The half volley. Villa back for Campos. Campos very flamboyant.
Also very adept with his feet. In fact, one of the better forwards at times a few years back in the Mexican League, when he would take off the goalkeeping jersey and the gloves and go into the attack for his team.
He had a 30-goal season in the Mexican League.
Versatility, the Mexican goalkeeper Campos, and many of his goals were of the flamboyant variety as well.
Hernandez on the sideline. Agus marking him tightly. Carmona trying to come through with it. This is Palencia. Chips middle. Hope was there. Villa. Sane pops it up. Friedel grabs it in the 6. Friedel can fire the ball about 60 yards on a throw. He comes short for Reyna. Outside of the foot. Perfect pass for Jones. Macias, a pop-up header. Marquez settles. Villa cracked hard by Reyna. Clean tackle. Marquez, a little chip pass. Pope. Indecisive play by both teams in the center circle. A lot of players looking uncomfortable. Palencia and I believe also Hernandez also offside. A program reminder, the United States plays Brazil Saturday at the Rose Bowl, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific on ABC Sports. It's a full international.
It doesn't get any more entertaining or artistic than watching the Brazilians play.
Joe Max Moore. Turning against Villa now, beating Luna. Moore across the middle, the tip on, goes out of bounds. Josh Wolf almost connecting Joe Max Moore. What a terrific move and a very precise cross.
The individual effort by Joe Max Moore right here, the double touch. He splits 2 defenders, gets his head up, drives a near post cross. Josh Wolf there probably should have gotten more on it, but Josh Wolf did not expect to be in this game, certainly not this early in this first half.
Another 1 or 2 of those. The U.S. can pot him. We're only in the 20th minute. Agus' corner. Jones. Off Carmona. Here comes the counter. Carmona. 4 on 2. But the U.S. is back in numbers now. Pardo with his first touch of the game. Hope winning the ball away. Now an American counter. Joe Max Moore. Wolf pushing the limits on the other side of the field. Reyna slows things down. Ernie Stewart beats Carmona. Campos. Luna. He has Villa square. Goes up the line for Palencia. Hope the defender. Luna turns against Reyna. Villa. Carmona is there on the far side. Reggie plays the angle with Stewart. This portion of the match is brought to you by Hershey's Syrup. Agus. Wolf challenging Marquez. Suarez wins the ball. No shots on goal. Opportunities for both teams. dangerous situations. And if you're just joining us, Brian McBride having to leave the game in the first 15 minutes with a badly swollen eye after an accidental collision with a Mexican defender. And there you see it. Just a grotesquely swollen eyelid, and McBride unable to see.
Well, if you talk to some of the guys that have competed against Brian McBride in Major League Soccer, they keep saying that he doesn't get his arms up enough when he goes up for headers to protect himself. He's probably too fair. Guys like John Doyle, played in MLS for 5 years against Brian McBride, always goes up with his arms. He's clocked Brian McBride a few times. He says, Brian, just get your arms up to protect yourself. Could have made a difference in that situation. We've seen it twice on the replay there. And McBride doesn't really lead with the forearm, as maybe you should, when these balls are being so hotly contested for.
Pavel Pardo on the serve on the restart. Hernandez heads it down. Reyna the only man there. Claudio Reyna the captain. Suarez. Macias. Chima Ruiz, who is forcing forward. Armas tracking back. Pardo wins it for Carmona. Hernandez out wide. One time for Carmona. Stewart the defender. Hernandez. Agus steps up against Palencia. Gets fouled. Palencia, a brilliantly talented player. And Agus has had an enormously successful career. Over 100 appearances for his national team. Ernie Stewart. David Regi looking for Wolf. Down on his knees to make the chest pass. Marquez and Suarez again back. Alongside Ty Keogh, I'm Jack Edwards. This is the final group of World Cup qualifying. Mexico against the United States. This match presented by Chevrolet. Rodolfo Cibrian, the referee, ruling against the U.S. A very vocal crowd here in Columbus, Ohio. Temperature in the low 20s.
Some very spirited play at midfield. Reyna has won balls at midfield. Chris Armas, as always, has stepped in front. Agus has been very aggressive coming to the back, called for a foul right there.
Chima Ruiz, stolen by Reyna. Joe Max Moore, Kobe Jones. Again, Suarez, excellent play from behind, taking it away from Jones. Villa. Pardo. Hernandez lets it run for Palencia, looking back, and there's Eddie Pope. Eddie Pope playing quite well in the early going here.
Good sign also. Joe Max Moore has looked very sharp and confident on the dribble, taking on Mexican defenders.
Villa for Hernandez. Agus is there. Pope was marking Hernandez. The United States back line looking much more stable. Regi turning and firing forward. Wolf square. Reyna, Joe Max Moore. The passing combination fails as Villa takes it away from Mexico. Pardo. Carmona. Palencia running diagonally. Agus marking here. Agus again giving him no room. The push against Palencia. Pretty good matchup between those two.
Well, we've seen the injury to Brian McBride's eye, or just above his right eye. Palencia received an injury about 2 weeks ago in the Mexican League, where he had about 40 stitches on the outside of his jaw and also another 40 stitches inside the jaw, inside of his mouth. So he's felt that needle going through there, and I'm sure Brian McBride might later this evening.
Jones can't track it down on the near side. These two teams, bitter rivals. The series history, the United States has won only 7 times out of 43. And since 1990, it's been a bit more even. But in World Cup qualifying, the United States is 2 wins, 12 losses, 5 ties. And that, of course, is when you really see the full national squads with no exceptions, that every player who needs to be called in for his country is being called in. Such is the case tonight, and such will be the case throughout 2001 in this last effort to try to make the 2002 World Cup field of 32 nations. Marquez. Valencia. Reina steals. Carmona chips it up. Villa wide for Marquez. Better possession from Mexico than the U.S. so far, Ty?
Certainly since the Brian McBride injury, I think it rattled the U.S. team psychologically.
This portion of the match is being brought to you by Allstate. Another foul against the U.S. and another restart for Mexico. Crowd rather quiet here in Columbus. People came prepared, all bundled up, ready to yell. There was a great vibration in the stadium before this game began, and it continued in the first few minutes. The crowd right now looking for something to cheer for. Fans a little bit subdued right now. Pope punching it forward. Suarez against Moore. Reina comes through and takes it out of traffic. Regis looking for Wolf. He's offside. The flag went up very late, but he was off. Josh Wolf, another front runner. He said, okay, he's always going to force that limit, much in the same way that we were explaining earlier about Hernandez. Villa. Ramona. Regis breaks it up. Suarez juggles it off the thigh and then flicks for Marquez.
Good skill from the big man.
Pope. Villa knocks it down for Valencia. Luna is offside. Now it's pretty clear that both back lines are going to try to force toward midfield, and the forwards are going to try to get something through. They're really going to push that limit.
Close one here, and a good argument, because right here Tony Sana does keep Luna onside as the ball was played. So the incorrect call there by the far side referee's assistant.
And there is Luna. Hernandez had the best view of it. And he was the one who was protesting most vociferously, and he was absolutely right. So the U.S. catches a big break here.
Mexico now called offside 5 times in this match, and only 4 of them were truly offside.
Villa. Chima Ruiz. Jones stolen here. This is Macias taking it away from Joe Max Moore. He sidesteps Sana. Finds Luna, but there's Eddie Pope. Eddie Pope playing to top form so far in the first half hour of this match.
He's been forced to. The quickness of the Mexican counterattack with Palencia and Hernandez lurking in and around him. Those quick little touches.
Campos. Macias. Stewart chasing. Looking for Ruiz. Sané tracks it back. Sané in the short sleeves, by the way. He plays in the German league, and it gets darn cold there. Haggis tries a 50-yarder. Wolf stumbled. Some of the turf coming up. Regis winning it back for Haggis. Moore coming through. Knocks it down for Regis. Armas. A little giveaway here. Palencia. Hernandez touches it. Sané trying to turn it away. And Friedel comes up with it. Sané grabs his left ankle.
It shows you how dangerous Mexico can be. A very quick steal out of midfield. Immediately they have green shirts rushing forward, and watch this whack by the right leg of Luis Hernandez. He cheap shotted Tony Sané, and he's a constant pest. Not only will he stick the ball into the net, he just makes life miserable for the opposing defenders. And he'll slow him up using unfair play, whacking Tony Sané's right ankle here. He knew he had no chance for the ball there. Brad Friedel already had it in his hands.
Luna, in sportsmanlike fashion, throws the ball out of bounds. It'll be a U.S. goal kick. These players are playing for their nations. And where there is room to get away with something, players will take full advantage of that. This portion of the match is brought to you by Texaco. Luna coming back to the ball. He sprays it out of bounds. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
Well, guys, Brian McBride out. Claudio Reyna may be following him. He just came over to the sideline and pointed to his left groin, telling him it's really tight. Bruce Arena yelled at the training staff, let him play through it. But Clint Mathis has been warming up and already taped up his shin guards, and he would be the man who would have to replace Reyna.
Rafael Marquez going forward. Now wide for Palencia. Steps on the ball. Agus, this is dangerous play against Palencia. You can't play the ball while you're on the ground. And Agus made sure that he got the call because he stepped in and immediately tried to play the ball.
It's dangerous play if an opponent is nearby. You can play the ball on the ground if no one's around, because many great goals are scored like that as players slide through, laying on the ground and so forth. Agus here trying to that crossfield pass, which may open up the Mexican defense. Early in the game, the ball was going side to side, and Reyna was a big part of that. He was getting a lot of passes, a lot of balls were played into Reyna and then switched to the other side. But Reyna has not been as involved, and perhaps it is because he's feeling that injury that Rob Stone just mentioned.
Palencia, there's Reyna stepping in via Suarez Macias. He has been tremendously effective. Luna, nice ball outside. This is Ruiz. Hernandez running toward the corner. Hernandez sells the dummy. Armas tracking back alertly because if he hadn't, Luna's in alone. Long ball for Josh Wolf. Suarez there. Macias turns and volleys it to get it out of trouble. Reyna. Square for Jones. Reyna reaching for his left groin. He says he's done. He's waving his arm as if he says he's got nothing left. You only get 3 substitutions in international soccer, and if the U.S. has to use 2 because of injury in the first 33 minutes of the match, it virtually cripples Bruce Arena's ability to make strategic changes. He's making changes out of necessity. You got to hold that third one in case somebody else goes down. Otherwise, you have to play with 10.
Look at the quality of players that he's having to give up. Those are the 2 guys we featured as the key elements to the U.S. success tonight. Brian McBride and Claudio Reyna.
Luna against Sane. This is turning into a rugged one-on-one battle. Ruiz against Kobe Jones. Jones gets an arm out. Sane and Luna in a race. Jones protesting, and the call's going to go against Jones. The Mexicans protested Rodolfo Cibrian's selection as referee for this match, but the U.S. is getting the worst of it here.
Well, we'll see here. That goes both ways. There's a little forearm, another shove into Jones's face. So the first 2 fouls were not called. Perhaps then Kobe Jones stepped in, but he lost out in the total foul category there, and the call went against him.
The reason for the Mexican protest, Cibrian had refereed the U.S.-Colombia game earlier this month. Reyna heads it out. Palencia's volley. Hope gets a foot on it to clear to midfield. This portion of the match is brought to you by Budweiser. Here's Campos well out of the penalty area.
Likes to showboat.
It has cost him in the past. Usually a bit more conservative in international games. Hope gives up the corner, with Chima Ruiz pressuring.
Eddie Pope, good positioning again to cut out this Mexican attack. Not able to keep it in.
Pardo to take the corner. A tense moment for the United States. Agus clears. Well too hard over the sideline.
What has been evident here in the last 15 minutes or so, Jack, is the speed of play collectively that Mexico is able to exert. How fast the ball moves. and how many options. You see green shirts appearing very quickly in support of the ball. The United States not quite as quick in support and have not been able to work the ball around as quickly and establish that possession.
Here's Wolf with a little bit of a break. A through ball looking for Ernie Stewart. Stewart running onto it, but again, Campos so alert, well off his line. Reyna is down in midfield. A yellow card. I believe it is against Villa. However, Marquez is walking away.
Marquez.
So it is Marquez.
Rafael Marquez, who plays in France, coming in with a very high right leg to catch Josh Wolf after he'd made the pass. Good call by the referees, right on top of it. He allowed his eye to linger after the play. Sometimes the referees will follow the ball and miss that late high leg coming through that Marquez used on Josh Wolf.
36th minute, the yellow card. If you're wondering, there are no caution points that carry over from the previous round. Kobe Jones backing in the box. 1-on-3. Villa clears it out. Sane cuts off Palencia. Agus retrieves, sends it back for Friedel. Hernandez chasing the keeper. Jones on the challenge against Ruiz. Joe Max Moore giving it up for Villa. Jones hustling after the challenge. Bruce Arena wanted the U.S. to be aggressive, to pressure the ball, and to communicate well. How many of those three is he getting from his players?
Well, initially, first 7 or 8 minutes, he certainly had the pressure going, and there was a rhythm of possession starting through Claudio Reyna. The Brian McBride injury, I think, unbalanced the U.S. team psychologically. Mexico seized that opportunity, and from that point on, dictated the tempo of the game and have looked dangerous on counterattacks.
McBride on the bench. This portion of the match is brought to you by Jolly Rancher.
That's got to hurt. The size and swelling over Brian McBride's right eye.
Palencia taken down from behind. Sane and Armas in the mix. The Mexicans demanding a yellow card from Cibrian, not getting it. Marquez, Carmona. Marquez moving through on the right side. Wolf is down holding his face. He's rolling around, writhing. Play continues. Sane belts the ball forward into the Mexico half of the field. Wolf is back on his feet on the far side.
Well, no one said this would necessarily be a pretty game. It's going to be hotly contested. And both teams trying to intimidate not only each other, but intimidate the official into getting the calls. If you look at the top of the screen, Josh Wolf throwing his arm out. He goes down here after taking the forearm.
Bitter rivals, the U.S. and Mexico.
Mr. Cibrian could have a tiger by the tail here. Giving out one yellow card. We'll have to give out a few more soon.
U.S. coach Bruce Arena told us last night the Mexicans, he thought, would be delighted to go into halftime 0-0. They're only about 6 minutes away from that right now. Hernandez. Luna turning 30 yards from goal. Danger here, the shot. An easy save for Friedel.
Luna did not get much on that one, but he does have a vicious left-footed shot. He can bend him very well on the free kicks too.
This portion of the match brought to you by Chevrolet. An 8-yarder from Friedel, but Marquez is on it to Carmona. Reggie challenging forward aggressively, looking for Wolf. Can't recover. Carmona cutting him off. This is Campos. Carmona. Wolf pressures him. Carmona goes down, and here comes the card on Josh Wolf. th minute.
Cibrian was itching to give a second yellow to even things up. Josh Wolf gave him the opportunity. Carmona will be fine. And it may have been a foul against Josh Wolf, but you knew the card would come here. The ball tangled up.
He didn't even make contact with his shins.
Not much in it. Not much in it. But in desperation, a referee looking for an excuse to even things up on the yellow card count.
Josh Wolf and Jorge Campos both have played for the Chicago Fire. Campos, the goalie, in orange, and you could read Wolf's lips. It was an 8-letter word that means there wasn't much substance to that call.
Now, Carmona made a meal out of it.
It's part of international soccer. It's part of the game. If you can sell the call, so much the better. So Wolf is on notice, and should he pick up another yellow card, the U.S. has to play 10 on 11, down a man the rest of the match. Suarez, the Emperor. Macias playing just his 4th international game for Mexico, but I've been impressed with this lanky back. Let's send it downstairs to Rob Stone. Rob, what do you got?
Guys, about the last 10 minutes, the U.S. bench has been trying to get in contact with Claudio Reyna and doing the old international signal, wheel in your hand, saying, are you all right? You're going to come out? Claudio finally gave him the X and said, I'm done, I'm out. So they're trying to get Clint Mathis in, and here comes Clint right now to drop off the card. So Mathis coming in, Claudio Reyna, the captain, out.
This is a remarkable turn of events for the United States. Wolf having to go in. Now Mathis having to go in. Another call goes against the U.S. Kobe Jones slamming the ball down. Cibrian admonishing him. Mexico with the throw-in. Valencia getting good air over Jones to win the ball. Pardo gives it away to Wolf. Too far forward for Joe Max Moore. Moore and Wolf haven't played too much as a tandem up front. Tough time to have to break in a combination. Reyna. Jones has Moore on the far side. Jones to Wolf, one-time pass. Luna back in perfect position. Macias. Armas knocks it out of bounds. The captain's armband goes to Chris Armas. Clint Mathis comes in for Claudio Reyna. It has been a rough night physically for the U.S. Clint Mathis coming in for the injured captain, and McBride already out for Josh Wolf.
McBride with the swelling over his right eye.
Here comes Wolf on the right wing. Hammers the low cross. It's behind Moore. Armas chasing forward. Chima Ruiz. Armas sliding hard to win the ball, but it comes off to Luna. Tries the cross. Agus steps up nicely. The pop-up. Joe Max Moore competing for the ball. Villa. Marquez. Marquez getting it back from Pardo. Armas looking for Wolf. Ruiz in the air for Luna. Jones on the challenge. Luna pops it up. Ruiz, a sky ball. Armas getting positioned to win it. But it comes to Marquez. Just blasted forward, looking a spring pass for Hernandez. Hope for Sane. Chima Ruiz. This is a long ball for Hernandez. Agus back to Friedel. Luna trying to spring Hernandez on the long diagonal. Friedel, a 70-yarder, looking for Joe Max Moore, but Marquez is there. The U.S. having great difficulty penetrating the back 5 of Mexico, led by the Emperor, Claudio Suarez, that man, number 2. This is Marquez. Valencia looking for Hernandez, but it comes out of bounds off a U.S. player. Carmona, the throw-in. Valencia against Agus. Valencia turning Agus. Valencia for Hernandez. Pope clearing it out. Mexican throw-in. Eddie Pope has been the man of the match so far for Bruce Arena's crew. U.S. really having trouble. Hernandez getting cheered by the fans as he misplays the ball out of bounds. Agus also playing very solidly defensively. In just a few minutes, Rob Stone will have the All-State halftime report, the mayor of Columbus, the qualifying schedule, and Ty Keogh's first half analysis. There will be just 1 minute of stoppage time. A bit of a surprise considering the considerable stoppages there were in this first half. Clint Mathis trying to spring Joe Max Moore. It doesn't work. Carmona. Agus has it. Boom. Armas. Carmona. Off the shoulder. Misplayed Joe Max Moore. Then Marquez recovers. Pardo. Carmona. Valencia. Agus challenging. It's out of bounds off Valencia. The U.S. has a throw in. Mere seconds left here in stoppage time of the first half. Suarez pushing forward. Valencia. Armas takes it back for the U.S. Wolf. Jones against Macias. Macias forcing him back outside. Armas. Hernandez steals. Pardo has Valencia. Goes against the grain for Hernandez. Sane back for Friedel. The first half is over. Bruce Arena said he thought that Mexico would be delighted to go to the break 0-0, thanks in part to that gigantic bruise over the right eye of Brian McBride, forcing Josh Wolf's entry. It is a 0-0 game. The All-State halftime report is coming up. This is the first of 10 tough games for the U.S., the final round of World Cup qualifying, trying to get to 2002. Welcome back to raucous Columbus, Ohio. This is the All-State halftime report. Mexico and the U.S. 0-0. The U.S. has lost two key players. Brian McBride and Claudio Reyna both have gone down, leaving the U.S., Ty Keogh, very frustrated trying to penetrate that tough back line.
It's going to be difficult without their experience and their skills. There's some good young players out there, but they just might not have it to break down Mexico. But the few times that the United States did look dangerous, it was situations where they could play the ball in behind the Mexican defense. This time looking for Brian McBride, but Campos very alertly off of his line. Here, Ernie Stewart gets behind a Mexican defender and crosses a little bit off the mark. An easy play for Campos. The best play for the United States, Joe Max Moore. He sees space behind the Mexican defense. He pushes the ball to himself. Then there's space out in front of the goal that Josh Wolf, who was still a little bit cold at the time, was not able to put away.
Well, the crowd is providing an awful lot of emotional support here in Columbus. Who wants to be a hero? 45 minutes without interruption when we come back. Temperature in the low 20s in Columbus, Ohio, alongside Ty Keogh with Rob Stone, our on-field reporter. The game is on again. Mexico going left to right in this second half. Both teams begin the second half with the same 11s with which they finished the first half. Valencia still warm out of the locker room, looking for some kind of break. Agus plays it back. Friedel has to left foot it away from the oncoming Pardo. Marquez hacked hard by Armas in midfield, going down, holding his shin.
Now we'll be seeing more of that as the teams battle it out at midfield. We saw Friedel there making a good play in a difficult situation with his left foot. Some people question, why is it Casey Keller in the goal for the United States? The fact is, Bruce Arena did not want to bring him in so late. He had duty for Rayo Vallecano in the Spanish league on the weekend.
Gino Ruiz into the box. Agus. Joe Max Moore. Back to Mathis. Long ball for Wolf. He's onside. Campos way out. Moore. He's got Wolf. Wolf scores!
Campos, the man on the spot here. Clint Mathis, practically his first touch of the game, in behind the Mexican defense, just like we talked about a moment ago. Campos, who loves to come off his line and make the dramatic play, ends up getting beaten by the speed of Josh Wolf. Good thinking by Mathis, though, to play the ball into that big gap. Campos, thinking he could close the gap, does not get there in time. And it's an easy finish then for Josh Wolf with his getaway speed. So think about it.
down their two key offensive players,
And the
two
guys
guys who come in for them produce the goal.
Unbelievable. Clint Mathis on for Claudio Reyna. Plays a brilliant early ball over the Mexican defense. Josh Wolf in for the injured Brian McBride. With his speed, puts the finish on it.
And Campos, the ever flamboyant keeper, taking the big gamble and not playing it safely, coming well out of his penalty area.
Frankly, underestimating Josh Wolf's speed.
He'd never seen it. At least not like this. And Campos has the goat's horns growing right now for Mexico, which had played extremely well, had gotten the better of the play in the first half.
Well, to give Campos credit, we showed a couple of them. By him coming off his line 2 or 3 times in the first half, he stopped scoring opportunities by the United States.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Texaco. Josh Wolf. An amazing break for the U.S. Suddenly there seems some calm among the players wearing the white uniforms. Hernandez, Luna, Agus will give up the corner. Luna has been dangerous on the left side. Jeff Agus and Eddie Pope very, very solid on the U.S. back line. They are the central defenders tonight. Regis is wide left and Sané is wide right in the back four. The corner to the near post. Agus heading it up. Friedel with the snatch. He wants the quick counter. Jones against Villa. Jones away from Palencia. Outside of the foot flick. Mathis holds the ball nicely. Here's Armas. Sané. Wolf, the goal scorer. Sané for Joe Max Moore onside. Stewart running to the far post. Moore holding the ball nicely. Ruiz picks his pocket. Chino Ruiz. Armas angling. Luna goes for the far post, shanks it. Goal kick to the U.S.
Well, Jack, anytime a player is so wide open behind the defenders, you think he may have been offside. But if you look right here, when the ball comes into Clint Mathis and he hits it, right now he's hitting it, Josh Wolf is in his own half of the field. You cannot be offside if you're in your own half of the field when the ball is struck to you. No offside here. Mathis goes in and scores.
Look at the remarkable turn.
I meant Josh Wolf goes in and scores on the ball from Mathis.
Remarkable turn that Wolf makes to go onto that ball in space.
He does possess tremendous balance. But in his own half of the field, when Mathis hit the ball, no chance of there being an offside.
2 games, 2 goals against Mexico. Of course, this one vastly more important than the last one. This is a World Cup qualifier. Final round of qualifying. Mathis trying the half volley. Here's Joe Max Moore in alone against Campos. Moore tackled from behind. Play on, says Cibrian. The ball goes out for a corner to the U.S. I think the tackler got a little bit of ball here.
It's not that bad of a tackle. The problem here is Joe Max Moore thinks he has the luxury of being able to get the ball over onto his right foot. No offside here. He timed his run well. But when he goes to put it on his right foot, it gives a chance for the defender to get a leg in on the tackle. If Joe Max Moore strikes that ball with the left foot, he gets the shot off.
This portion of the match brought to you by Budweiser. Joe Max Moore's corner. Pope goes over the top. The U.S. bringing the attack at Mexico. This is exactly the opposite way that we figured this game would go.
United States trying to make it pay here on the set plays. A good in-swinger. Eddie Pope gets up well. A lot of traffic, though, out in front of him.
Valencia working in combination with Hernandez on the right. Hernandez against Agus. Agus lets him go middle. The flick for Luna. Here's Hernandez on the far post, but Sané tracking back. Mathis clears out, but gives it up to Pardo. Luna. Chips for Hernandez. Friedel goes out to cut off the angle.
Friedel did not have that much to do in the first half of play. He even though Mexico looked dangerous on a few counterattacks, and they worked the ball very well. Barrio Luna with the in-swinger left foot sneaks it in. Hernandez with the high boot, fearlessly Friedel off of his line, though, to snare it.
Wolf. Moore. Macias turns it. Trying to spring Hernandez. Agus off the chest for Pope. Pope drills it out over the sideline. Hernandez. Mathis, the slide tackle. Hernandez, heel pass, clever. Villa, square and hard for Carmona. Stewart pops it up. Marquez tracking back. Wolf the challenge. U.S. wants to throw in and gets the call. Moore tries to volley corner.
Wolf was afraid he was offside, so he had stopped his run.
You see streamers out in front of Jorge Campos' goal, right in front of Sam's Army, the gigantic throng that is all dressed in red behind the goal at which the U.S. is shooting in this second half. There it is, Sam's Army. Freezing cold, but delighted right now. The U.S. up 1-0 on Josh Wolf's goal. Villa taken down. Mexico will get the restart. Putting it in play quickly. Suarez. Marquez. Carmona. Into the box. Armas. Pardo gives it up. Mathis punching it left side for Wolf. Moore in the middle. Wolf against Suarez. 1-on-3. Runs into a hard tackle. Carmona takes the ball away. Pardo looks long. Palencia pops it over Agus. Agus in good position. Heads it back. Friedel has it in front of Hernandez. Rob Stone on the sideline. Rob, go ahead.
They came out for the second half. They said the passing needs to be better. We've got to play more to feet and less over and up soccer. Said very happy with the defense, but we've got to find Kobe and Ernie Stewart more often. One interesting note, after that Josh Wolf goal, Bruce Arena celebrated, ran right to Frankie Haydick and said, get ready, warm up. You may be my defensive stopper late in the game.
Almost a giveaway between Macias and Campos with Kobe Jones pressuring here. Well, it's funny that they wanted to play more to the feet, not over the top, and Mathis ends up going over the top perfectly into space. And Wolf shows off his brilliant speed to beat Campos.
Well, now that you have a lead, though, it is good to maybe spread the ball, get it out wide, play it on the ground. That eats up more of the clock. It keeps Mexico chasing so that they cannot mount the counterattacks that they're so good at.
Valencia comes square. Pardo, here's a big push. Pardo looking for Hernandez. Eddie Pope there. Luna was crashing to the far post. It would have been a walk-in if Pope hadn't been there. This is as well as we've seen Eddie Pope play in about a year, maybe more. Pope had constant injury problems of one sort or another last year. Mathis tries to split the defense. Villa takes him down. The yellow card is out for Villa in the 56th minute. We see the substitution coming in. Let's take a look at the highlights of the game so far.
Well, lowlights for some people. Brian McBride's injury. Only about 15 minutes into the match. He collides heads with Macias. Claudio Reyna also late in the first half had to leave. But the substitutes made a difference. The guys that came on for the key U.S. players made the goal. Mathis setting up Josh Wolf.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Chevrolet. In the 56th minute, Villa getting the yellow card for the late tackle. Cepeda has gone in for Carmona. Carmona, a very talented player, but now he is gone. Cepeda is a terrific one-on-one player, also can cross the ball. He's a good right-sided player.
Well, Cepeda is an out-and-out winger, whereas Carmona is more of an attacking wingback, so Mexico has adjusted to look for the equalizer here.
Bruce Arena, frankly, thought that Carmona was a better player than Ruiz, who was playing the opposite side on the defensive line. So he must be a little bit pleased by this substitution. Luna going out wide for Palencia. Pope tracking him. Jones gets a piece of the pass. Villa forward for Luna. Pope getting in the way. Valencia square. Luna across. Off Armas. Luna against Sane. Off Sane. A corner for Mexico.
Got some pretty solid defending, particularly Eddie Pope. His positioning has been flawless. He's cut out some very dangerous balls as Valencia and Hernandez look for each other in those central combinations.
Pardo's in swinger through the 6-yard box on the flick on. Clint Mathis. Marquez tracking. Mathis turning on the speed up the sideline. Valencia challenging. Zepeda back for Villa, who has dropped back even farther now with Zepeda, the offensive-minded player, into the game. Agus, Armas gets it into space for Sane. Wolf running toward the corner. Sane square for Mathis. He can hold it here. Takes on Villa. Mathis trying for Jones. Pardo on the clear to Zepeda. Now Agus forward. Joe Max Moore for Mathis. Mathis takes the shot. Campos the save. The U.S. starting to find some seams.
And I think Mexico surprised by the speed of Clint Mathis right there in front of you. Also on the goal, Campos surprised by the speed of Josh Wolf, players that the Mexican team have not seen much of.
Zepeda, Valencia, Pardo, Zepeda, can't get around Agus. No one has gotten around Agus tonight. David Regis, 1-on-2, plays it back for Agus. He serves it out of the back, looking for Kobe Jones. Suarez gets the high elbow in.
Yeah, but Jones won the header over a guy that's about 4 inches taller than him.
Joe Max Moore, cleverly played ball for Jones, tries to slide through Suarez, can't get there. Hernandez against Pope. Hernandez flicks with the heel, trying for the far post. He's got brilliant ability to improvise. Doesn't quite work this time, but Luis Hernandez, ever dangerous.
Amazing instincts and tremendous hustle by Hernandez.
Costa Rica plays the United States in Kansas City on the 25th of April, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific on ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com. By the way, fans in the Kansas City area, tickets now are available to the general public, and the challenge is out there. The folks of Columbus, Ohio, 207 Ohio communities have sent people to this game. People from 38 states are here tonight in Columbus. Kansas City has the next date, and it would be great to see Arrowhead Stadium practically full, if not full. Josh Wolf, Joe Max Moore. Fires it across for Stewart. Campos barely has it. And Stewart holds up the fist to say, that's a great ball. Another 6 inches, and that's another goal for the U.S. Here's some possession. Armas, Stewart. This is what Bruce Arena wanted to see in the first half from the U.S. Hold the ball, move it around, make the ball do the running. Show to the ball and get open. Hernandez. Zepeda going up the right wing. Hernandez plays a ball off the outside of the foot. Regis comes back. Friedel will play it left-footed.
Luckily for the United States, Hernandez not a great passer of the ball. A giveaway by Tony Sane on the right side of the defense. You can't have that in these situations.
Mathis going through from Wolf. Clint Mathis. Oh, what a steal by Marquez coming from behind. He reached through, took the ball, and got it cleanly. Zepeda against Regis. Armas picks his pocket. Joe Max Moore. Jones racing forward. Moore holding. Stewart with Hernandez on the late challenge. Regis. Fakes the chip, now plays it forward. Moore. Stewart.
The ball on the ground like Bruce Arena wanted.
This is 9 passes in a row.
Rob Stone talked about it after having heard Bruce Arena emphasize it to his players.
Pope takes the space. Jones chopped by Ruiz. And this will be a free kick for the U.S. This portion of the match is brought to you by Nike. We're in the 62nd minute in Columbus, Ohio. Josh Wolf's 47th minute goal on a springing pass from Clint Mathis has put the U.S. up 1-0. If you weren't with us in the first half, both Brian McBride and Claudio Reyna had to leave the game because of injury, and frankly, things were looking a bit glum for the U.S. But an extraordinary, spirited attack here in the second half has carried the play. Agus. Headed out by Marquez. That's a corner for the U.S. Now the U.S. has the low-risk opportunity where it can bring up some big men from the back. Send Pope forward. Send Sane forward. Drop back Armas and Stewart. Reggie racing through. Agus the challenge. Here's Mathis. He can shoot. The little chip doesn't work.
Well, perhaps a bit more of a challenge for the United States to keep possession without Claudio Reyna, but we saw a moment ago they put about 10 or 11 passes consecutively together. Reggie keeping it into Joe Max Moore. The ball went side to side. The U.S. able to keep it.
Joe Max Moore with a steal here. Stewart tries the ball for Jones. Finds him. Jones the heel pass. Nobody there in his wake. Macias runs it out of his penalty area. Marquez. Villa. Off Armas, out of bounds. Why we show you the possession? Because it's one of Ty Keogh's keys to the match.
Well, we've seen the possession even without Claudio Reyna here in the second half. It's been a big difference. Now the counterattacks are still a danger for Mexico because we saw just a second ago Tony Sane give a ball away on the far side, and Mexico broke with 5 or 6 players. They're going to go for broke and look for the equalizer.
Wolf against Suarez, has more middle, tries to turn it, it's a corner. Brilliant speed.
Josh Wolf stretching the Mexican defenders to their absolute limit. He's up against a very experienced defender. Claudio Suarez, one of the most experienced players in the world at his position. And Suarez, all he could do was to be able to stay and give up a corner kick to Josh Wolf.
Josh Wolf, a college teammate of Clint Mathis. A lot of South Carolina Gamecocks pretty proud of the goal-scoring combination tonight. Agus' corner. Luna heading it up. Jones tries the volley. Oh, it caught Reggie. Square flush in the head. Campos was diving to try to make a save. Can you imagine taking the ball in 20-degree weather like that? It's amazing Reggie got up and walked. Luna tries Palencia. Too hard. Stewart has it. Luna goes down. This portion of the match is brought to you by Jolly Rancher.
Chance a moment ago. Kobe Jones absolutely wallops the ball from the edge of the box after the corner kick. You see it here. It's only partially cleared. Watch Campos in the orange shirt in the foreground. He's going for the left side, but it hits Reggie out in front.
Off the long clearance, Marquez has it. The captain, Claudio Suarez, turns away from Wolf. Macias. 5-1 the shots in the second half for the U.S. Chima Ruiz against Sane. And Jones helps out. Defensive help, one of the principles of a successful defense. Palencia turns and fires on Friedel. Not a bad idea. Keep him honest. If you're just joining us across the top of the hour, alongside Ty Keogh and with Rob Stone, our sideline reporter, welcome to frigid Columbus, Ohio. The United States selected this venue to try to make Mexico uncomfortable. The U.S. lost 2 key players, Brian McBride and Claudio Reyna, in the first half against Mexico. It ended 0-0, but then in the second half, the U.S. struck early. A goal by Josh Wolf from Clint Mathis. Now Zepeda attacking for Mexico, off Reggie, and Stewart comes over to sky the ball out of danger.
Ernie Stewart, Kobe Jones, guys like this have been through these wars with Mexico over and over and over again. What a rivalry. These teams, I mean, Mexico does not like to lose to the United States.
The corner, headed out, Reggie there. Zepeda goes for the far post. It was offside. And there is a good look at Miguel Zepeda. He has scored 7 goals for his country. A cap is an international appearance. Friedel from Bay Village, Ohio, hits it about halfway back there, a 70-yarder. Villa knocks it down. Palencia. Sane steps into the seam. Ernie Stewart holds. Agus too hard forward for Josh Wolf. Agus often will serve beautiful balls out of the back. That's a rare error.
More importantly, in this game, on several occasions, Jeff Agus is elected to blast the ball as far as he could out of danger as Mexico tried to pressure the United States in their own end of the field. And there is a time and a place for that.
Victor Ruiz has come into the game and Rafael Marquez is out, so this is more offense coming on for Mexico. Marquez a backliner and Ruiz a midfielder, and Ruiz immediately gets the ball. Challenged by Joe Max Moore, finds Zepeda up the sideline. Pardo
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention,
holding the ball. Zepeda helping out in traffic. It comes off Reggie. There you see some of the Mexican skills. There's a whole lot of room, but they never lost possession of the ball.
Jack, as Mexico's moved to a 3-5-2, perhaps the perfect opportunity.
Palencia now with the break past Reggie. Palencia, what a save by Friedel!
Palencia would love to have that one back because it was not an easy save for Friedel. You'll see him here, well positioned. Good ball by Hernandez into Palencia. Palencia beats Reggie to the ball. And it's good pressure at the last moment by Eggers. But he doesn't really force Friedel to stretch for it.
Off the corner, Joe Max Moore. Up to Stewart. Zepeda settles. Mexico attacking hard here. The chip into the box. Eggers heads it. Palencia bangs it right back in. There's Friedel. He wants the quick counter. The lone man is Wolf. That man is the lone wolf, maybe.
What you would like to see, Jack, is the United States be able to give Mexico a bit of their own medicine. If Mexico is going to risk by sending more players into attacking positions, play fewer people at the back, how good is Mexico at taking advantage of that, scoring a goal on the counterattack? The United States needs to make Mexico pay for risking so much looking for the equalizer.
Luna called for grabbing the jersey. Joe Max Moore coming up a little bit sore. There will be a lot of bruises on both teams' players tomorrow morning. Well, it's that kind of speed that Mathis and Wolf have shown in this game that makes the counterattack so deadly. Hernandez has it for Mexico as well. This portion of the match brought to you by Allstate. Kobe Jones out on the wing against Chima Ruiz. Victor Ruiz and Chima Ruiz both in the game now. We got a call going against Jones, according to the referee's assistant down in the corner. And Mexico will have to bring the ball back for a restart. Macias offering some counsel to the referee, Rodolfo Cibrian of El Salvador. The ball played across the box. Moore looking for it. Villa. Hernandez knocks it down. Tries the outside of the foot flick. Sane has none of it. Stewart takes the ball away. Kobe Jones trying to get away. This is Wolf against Chima Ruiz. Victor Ruiz gets a piece of Wolf. Victor Ruiz with the ball. Luna against Stewart.
Ernie Stewart taking on a more defensive role in midfield alongside of Chris Armas at times. Here's the U.S. looks to defend the lead.
Pardo. Zepeda comes back to the ball. Reggie, the defender. Pardo. Joe Max Moore. Solid tackle. Zepeda quickly looking for Pardo. Gets it to Hernandez. Chips toward the middle. Palencia. Hard. Jones coming back into his box to make the play. Joe Max Moore keeps it in bounds. Square for Stewart, who shows nicely. He has Mathis right. Through ball looking for Wolf.
The man to play there was Mathis. Wolf held up his run so that he would not be offside. But in holding it up, he'd actually drawn a couple of Mexican defenders over to the left side, and leaving Mathis even more open.
73rd minute of the match. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allstate. Pardo for Palencia. It bounces through Armas. Palencia patient. Ruiz. And another play by Armas to take the ball away cleanly. Regi. Macias chesting it down. The captain, Suarez. Palencia. Good combinations from Mexico here. There's some fluidity in the attack in the last few minutes. Regi heads it back for Friedel.
Nice cool under pressure by David Regi. Mexico starting to threaten, as they do have more attacking-minded players now in their lineup with the substitutions.
Macias. Luna has Palencia forward, but carries for Hernandez. Hernandez back to Luna, has a seam. Zepeda goes for the far post. Sane turns it upfield. Hernandez a little bit quicker. Into the middle. Victor Ruiz off to Villa.
Mexico now with 8 players fully committed to the attack.
Zepeda taking on Regi, turns him around. Zepeda into the middle, diving header attempt to the far post. And again tracking back Sane, preventing Hernandez from getting a clean contact on the ball. Luna goes down in the middle of the box in his diving header attempt.
Zepeda almost playing as a third forward on the right side. A good cross. Very tight marking initially by Eddie Pope, who's had a whale of a game, and then Tony Sane. And the marking is going to have to continue to be that tight if the United States wants to keep the shutout here against Mexico.
Third and final substitute for Mexico. Braulio Luna, who just went down, comes out. Jesus Arellano comes into the game. And here's the corner to the short post. Hagas heading it up. A couple of American players stumbling. Suarez trying to head it forward. Somebody's got to take control, and finally it's Chris Armas wearing the captain's armband in Reyna's injured absence. Pretty catch out on the wing by Zepeda, but Jones picks his pocket. Regi looking for more. Suarez leans in to win it. Macias. Victor Ruiz to Macias. Now to the man who just came in, Arellano. Arellano against Armas. Palencia. There's Pope again. But all the plays in the U.S. end right now. There's a long way to go. 15 minutes and then stoppage time. Arellano, Hernandez, outside of the foot, Sane blasts it. An uneasy feeling here in the crowd in Columbus, some murmuring going on as the green-clad Mexicans begin to take the attack to the U.S. Down a goal. Hernandez tries the wall pass. Friedel inside his 6-yard box, denying Chima Ruiz.
Mexico at times here playing with only 2 defenders back. They've pushed 4 into midfield, and with the 2 wingers now, especially with Zepeda on the right side, it's a 4-man forward line.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Texaco. Arellano. Victor Ruiz. Palencia. Joe Max Moore trying to track back and winning the ball against Pardo, and Moore has been banged up an awful lot tonight. He was down on the field a few moments ago, but he tracks back.
Desperation, though, evident in this tackle by Joe Max Moore, and a very risky tackle. He did get ball, but he lunged it and could have gotten the man, and it would have resulted in a penalty.
10 corners now for Mexico as Victor Ruiz places this one down. To the short post, Suarez tries to flick on, but Agus is in the way. Hernandez goes diving down through the middle on contact, trying to draw a penalty kick.
Or maybe not much contact.
The 11th corner kick. How many times can they knock on the door without getting in? Agus follows clear. Victor Ruiz against Jones. Pardo turning Stewart. this way and that way, but loses possession. Goal kick to the U.S. and listen to the encouragement here in Columbus.
On the last corner kick, Hernandez in between a couple of defenders. The minute he feels a white sleeve even brush up against him, he goes falling to the turf. And he's trying to buy a call, and sometimes he's good enough to do it.
The U.S. needs a little bit of counterattack right now. The U.S. needs to get it out of its own end. Mexico's starting to look a little too comfortable moving the ball. Wolf trying to spring more. Macias. Suarez, the captain, who was functioning almost as the back of the back line in almost a sweeper position at times, has pushed forward. This clearly is an offensive thrust by Mexico, leaving some space open behind, but the U.S. hasn't been able to get the ball through the middle third of the field to exploit that space. Villa. Victor Ruiz. Suarez to Macias. Chima Ruiz. Arellano. Right on the sideline. Sane, the defender. Arellano showing some speed. Victor Ruiz. Palencia turns and fires, and Friedel's in perfect position.
Bit of squabbling going on right now between Palencia and Hernandez. Hernandez wanted a pass from Palencia rather than this shot, which again did not really test Friedel.
Friedel with a 75-yarder. Mathis a flick for Wolf, but Wolf is a half step offside. Joe Max Moore is going to come off for Carlos Llamosa.
In the 47th minute, a couple of substitutes combined. Clint Mathis lifts the ball over the top of the Mexican defense. No offside. Josh Wolf was in his own half of the field when the ball was played by Mathis. He beats Campos to the ball, puts it away, and that's the lone goal of the game with 11 minutes approximately left in this one. Can the United States hold on?
This portion of the match is brought to you by Budweiser. Llamosa on for Joe Max Moore. That is the back line for the front line. As the U.S. goes into a more defensive posture, but perhaps just trying to beef up the middle third of the field. Regis taken down from behind by Cepeda. This will be a free kick for the U.S., and they'll let a lot of clock run before they play this ball.
The United States now will play with three central defenders, essentially, in Jeff Agus, Eddie Pope, and Carlos Llamosa. Regis will play wide on the left, and Tony Sane remains wide on the right.
Armas to Wolf. This is Stewart. Suarez chasing, and Stewart lets it run out. A little more time comes off the clock.
The look of experience there by Ernie Stewart. Very much aware of all the situations in this game.
Suarez battling with Wolf. Wolf wins it to Stewart. Armas, the volley. Pardo heads it forward. Cepeda, beautiful touch. Hernandez challenged hard from Armas. Play on. Victor Ruiz going long. Cepeda well offside. A good 4 yards there. Pope and Agus both had him tracked.
Overall, again, the United States, their back four, now their back five, have done a pretty good job of stepping up in a line to catch Mexico offside. They did it early in the game 4 or 5 times consecutively. Got lucky on one offside call. Remember, Luna would have been all the way in.
Agus can spot the ball nicely. Launches it diagonally. Wolf challenging Macias. Chima Ruiz belting it in the air. Llamosa's first touch. Kobe Jones dangerous from here against Macias. Jones trying to cut to the corner of the box. Josh Wolf racing onto the ball. Can't get it through Jones. Macias over Llamosa. Sane heading it down for Armas. Good possession here from the U.S. Holding the ball. Running off some clock. Taking it to Mexico's end of the field. Stewart. Armas. Agus. Listen to the support from the stands here in Columbus. Regis. Oh, what a turn! He's got Mathis, goes for the shot! Delusions of grandeur, perhaps. David Regis with one spectacular move, but couldn't follow it up with an effort on goal.
Hey, if you're the left back, how many chances are you going to get? You've been working hard all night. It's cold out there. Hey, take a crack at it.
It's a move of a career for David Regis. In fact, it appears that Regis is more of a midfield position right now, with Yamosa coming in to beef up the back line. Regis has had the freedom playing for FC Metz, his club team in France, to play in a variety of roles. But right now, everybody on the U.S. is playing defense. Victor Ruiz will have the free kick. This portion of the match brought to you by Hershey's Syrup. Eddie Pope is there again. Sane clearing. Victor Ruiz. Villa. Chima Ruiz. Wolf attacking him. Ariano against Mathis. Pardo. Victor Ruiz. Villa. Ruiz. Vegas. Holds. Goes long for Wolf. Too far. Suarez getting a challenge from the youngster. Has to play it to Campos.
It's about time for Campos to swap his goalkeeper jersey and go out and play forward for Mexico.
The attendance in Columbus, full house, 24,624. Kansas City, you're next. Tickets are on sale for that home game in late April at Arrowhead Stadium.
April 25th against Costa Rica.
Palencia. Zapata. Regis picks him. Wolf. Suarez on his back. Pushed down. Good foul against Mexico. Listen to this support.
David Regis, big defensive play. Also an important play here to draw the foul by Josh Wolf, shielding the ball very well, forcing a foul out of Claudio Suarez.
Regis. Wolf doing yeoman's work, sprinting long runs up front, trying to stretch the Mexican defense, at least trying to keep it honest, trying to keep it from getting too comfortable, too far forward.
If you can't run when you're 24 years old, Josh Wolf also coming on later on in the match due to that injury to Brian McBride.
Palencia in traffic, tumbles down. Pope and Armas pin him. This portion of the match brought to you by Chevrolet.
Landon Donovan on the bench for the USA, but they've made all three substitutions, so you won't get to see him tonight.
Victor Ruiz chipping into the box. Sane heading it down. Pardo. Zapata. Back into the box. Pardo will get another chance. Crosses hard. Armas was back. Jones pops it up against Ariano. Victor Ruiz a little trouble here in midfield, and Mathis chasing hard. Push called against Mathis in the 86th minute. Macias. Ariano, flashy player, has shown some moves. Villa. Onto the wing is Zapata, takes it, works on Stewart. Hernandez goes down in the box, pops up. Who else but Chris Armas? Yamosa clears it away. Jones looks up, holds the ball, and then just belts it. Chima Ruiz. Arellano. Yamosa trying to force him high. Ariano to Palencia at the edge of the box. Yamosa is back. Armas with Yamosa in tandem. And here we go again. It's Mathis looking for Wolf. Macias. Here comes Stewart on the dead run in the middle of the field. Wolf holding. Heals it. Time waster. U.S. gets the throw. Josh Wolf showing a lot of maturity.
Showing those jets again, too, as Mathis tried to play that early ball over the top of the Mexican defense, which paid off in the goal in the 47th minute.
How many times the U.S. has played games in this country and the chance have gone the other way? Here's Josh Wolf racing up into the middle of the start!
Josh Wolf racing past several Mexico defenders, getting the ball out front. Watch this individual effort here. A star in the making. He showed it at the Olympic Games. He's showing it now in a World Cup qualifier, holding off the last defender, coming straight through with a well-timed run. Ernie Stewart, he knows what to do with those, but it was Josh Wolf who did all of the work. A magnificent quick turn in the corner, racing past a handful of defenders, and then setting the table for Ernie Stewart.
A drive goes wild, high and wide. Let's look at the All-State save of the day when this thing was still in doubt, and Friedel came up huge.
Well, Brad Friedel looking for his third career shutout against Mexico. He's very close now. Luis Hernandez into Paco Palencia. Palencia has a chance to really get some power behind this shot, but Brad Friedel, well positioned, drives it away.
The United States not only has come a long way in a short time, but beyond any other quality, it has shown a massive amount of grit. That is what we have seen tonight, as the two stars that we highlighted before the game went down to injury in the first half. The subs have come through in huge fashion. Josh Wolf, a goal and an assist. Oh, now we get some brutality away from the ball and tempers flaring. Regis is going at Hernandez, who went at Sane. Sane is down holding his face. And it's a free-for-all out there right now. Clint Mathis. Oh, just took one across the chin from Campos. And now Pope is going against Palencia. Many tempers out of control here.
Very lamentable here. The game, there's the forearm right in the face to Sane from Luis Hernandez. That's unnecessary. Clint Mathis there, putting his arms a little bit on there, but the follow-up. Yeah, it's obviously frustration on the part of the Mexicans, but they need to show better sportsmanship, frankly. But you know what? They're also trying to bait the United States. They know this is a 10-game series, and the fact is, if they can get a couple of yellow cards racked up on the U.S. side of things, maybe later on down the road, the United States will be missing some players. So it's all part of the gamesmanship.
Josh Wolf has a Gordie Howe hat trick tonight, if you will. He's got a goal and an assist and a yellow card. And by the way, just to point something out, Claudio Suarez, captain of Mexico, while that melee was beginning, was trying to calm things down.
He's a pretty classy guy.
No doubt, and has shown it tonight in many ways. Mexico in desperation here, in stoppage time. We have not gotten an official signal from down below as to the exact amount of stoppage time. Campos well out of his box. Of stoppage time at the discretion of the referee. 2 minutes.
If you're playing for the United States here, get the ball out. Also play it quickly, because you hold on to it, you're going to get fouled.
Zepeda. Pardo. Hernandez against Agus. Zepeda. Palencia pops up the header. Zepeda, Villa. Pardo. It's deafening at Columbus Crew Stadium. Hernandez. Zepeda. Kobe Jones heads it up. Macias settles it down. We should be in the final 30 seconds. Ciprian is looking at his watch. Ariano against Llamosa. The United States gave up no goals on American turf in the semifinal round of qualifying. He's trying to open the final round with a shutout. Zepeda against Regis. The cross, Sane gets a piece of it. Macias the challenge, it'll be a corner. This could well be the very last moment of the game. The temperature has dipped all the way down to 20 degrees. It has been a most uncomfortable second half for Mexico, and a most impressive one for a gritty American squad.
Well, Mexico takes the United States and all their opponents to Mexico City, well over 7,000 feet in altitude.
It's over. The corner is not taken. And listen to the crowd in Columbus.